I have got a PhD in life. I'm spending my whole weekend in my pajamas and I'm not doing shit. You don't pay my bills or suck my dick. So like, what do I care what some random person on the internet thinks of me? A new year, new me. You gotta have some fun. God, Tim, everything you touch just like is amazing. And I want to tell that person, no the fuck it's not. I'm only trying to make one fucking person happy, and that's Tim Castleman. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Tim Talks, the latest, the greatest episode. We are still here in Cuba, enjoying is this our third full day?
Yeah, I don't even know what today is.
Today's
Isn't
Saturday.
That funny? Yeah.
So
third
Thursday,
full day.
Friday, Saturday.
Yes,
yeah. So
correct.
our third full day. Well, quick brag alert. Made it all the way back to the Airbnb. Didn't even look at our app. We
That's
just said,
right.
I think we have a sense.
Yep.
A sense. And our sense was correct, and we made it over here. So today, we were originally supposed to go on a cigar farm tour. The guy turned out to be a little bit of a turd sandwich.
Yeah, boo.
So we said, you know what, we're going to pass on the opportunity to support your business because you're a shithead. And as a result of that, we had a free day today. So
Yep.
Last night when we were at dinner, we saw this beautiful this beautiful hotel called the Cohiba. Maya Cohiba?
Maya Cohiba.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're butchering the name.
I remember Cohiba.
Yeah.
Or Amelia, M-E-L-I-A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You should look up on your phone the price of what it is, because we never even looked to see what the cost.
Like a
of that
room
would be.
there?
Yeah, like a room there. So we decided, we'd go back over in that area, and then Sue, with her due diligence and research, found out that place actually had several restaurants inside of it.
Yep.
And as a result of
Thank you,
that,
Ab.
we just said, you know what? We're going to go check it out and see how the other half lives. What's going on with the turistas, if you will. So we walk into the place. First thing you notice is it's a brand new building. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's got,
yes.
how many rooms do you think that place had? Hundreds?
Easily.
Yeah.
There was a few different wings there.
Yeah, it is a huge and massive hotel. You walk in the entranceway, and it's all air conditioned. Interesting price or what?
I haven't. Let me go to the website.
You're good.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. You walk in, it's air conditioned. You take a little escalator up to the first floor. Oh, we have a ton of restaurants. Unfortunately, they're not open yet, but...
Oh, yeah, they all open at like 1 p.m.
Would you
They
like
don't do breakfast here.
Yeah. Would you like to eat by the pool? And we're like, yeah, we would love to do that. So they sit us down, bring us over a menu, and short story long, we ordered some food. And it came out American-sized portions. I got 2 chicken breasts in my chicken nuggets with French fries meal that I thought I ordered. We ordered a pizza that translated is what? Old clothes?
Old clothes.
Yeah.
Which apparently is a common thing here in Cuba.
And it's a pizza, and it's made of meat. We're going to say pork,
Some
tomato,
type of meat.
a slice of tomato,
Yep.
a half of an olive, and cheese on each slice is basically how they make it. But thin crust, not bad at all. And then Sue had the Caesar salad, which came with
some type of chicken, we're guessing.
Yeah, and no pepper, like a garlic pepper almost instead. Yeah, it was really weird. I was like, okay, interesting. But we did that. We had a couple of bottles of water, and I had a Coca-Cola, which was magnifique, and 27 American bucks is what it cost us there.
It was great.
And a beautiful pool area.
It was gorgeous.
Had
The
a
hotel
huge
was
lounge
so nice.
area. I mean, it's a place we're definitely going to go back to.
Very fancy.
And then we walk back inside, and we're like, oh, hey, you know what? Let's look at some of the artwork on the walls. And when I walk back inside the hotel, I can immediately smell, from my years of smoking, cigar smoke. And I'm like, man, that's so crazy that they just let people smoke cigars anywhere in town. And they do. I don't see anyone saying, no, you can't do that here. And remember from my earlier story, the guy gave me a cigar in his own establishment to smoke. So I was like, holy shit. So we're looking at the different arts and stuff like that. And I just look over, and they have a La Casa de Habano, which is an official cigar store where they sell Cubans, inside the hotel. And they have a smoking lounge.
Yep.
They have a full bar, and they have a
gorgeous.
cigar roller, and she makes cigars there every day, and then they sell them there as well. So what's funny is like the accessories, like a hat's $10,
Yeah.
a lighter's $5. You know, if you want just like a cheap plastic one that has a little label on it. But the cigars are, you know, anywhere from $10 to $20 to $30 a piece. It was just very, very, very cool, very upscale. You could tell
Very
this
nice.
was a very
They
posh.
have that beautiful, cool, refrigerated room with all the cigars.
Yep.
Yep.
And humidified and everything.
Yep.
You walk in there and they let you walk around. And the lady looks at you and, you know, pretends to be putting cigars up when she's really watching you to make sure you're not going to be stealing, because we look like, I guess, Americans that would steal. I don't know. I'm like, look, I'm in Cuba, right? Of all the places in the world that I'm not going to attempt to steal anything, it would be here, right?
Yes.
Because, you know, as an American, I'm sure you would love nothing more than to put me, you know, on display as if we were in North Korea. And I was just like, yeah, let's not do that. So, we checked it out. We're going back. I got to get some. It's funny. Sue bought souvenirs for the family. I'm buying cigar shit for me. And I was just like, yeah, you buy those souvenirs. I'm going to come back and get that hat and that lighter and these cigars. And oh my God, it's amazing. It's wonderful. So we did that. Had a great time. Then we set up. You know, let's go explore around the area. Noticed. Only happening on the weekends, but there are people walking up and down the streets, basically, you know, politely, I will say, singing, but they're really telling you what they offer.
They're shouting their wares.
Tamales! Tamale. And everyone's got their windows open, and when they want something, someone just yells out, and he stops, and then they come down.
Over here.
Yeah, and pick it up. They had a lady that was doing house cleaning.
Yep.
Remember, she was carried all her supplies on her back. I mean, it's very interesting the weekend.
Very interesting.
And this is apparently when everyone goes and buys food, because every line by the supermarket was just ridiculously long, is how I would describe that. Ridiculously long there. So we found a little popcorn vendor that we couldn't make it out, heads or tails, what it was.
There was a big communication gap going there.
Yeah. So, but we got it all taken care of. We got some popcorn, and then right next door, a bakery.
A bakery,
and we were like, well, let's go see what we're experiencing here.
Yeah.
And it was gorgeous. So it was obviously tiny, but they had like 3 or 4 beautiful pastries. Or 2 pastries that you could buy, and like 3 or 4 little, like a chocolate mousse thing.
Oh, like in a tart, they call it chocolate.
Who knows
tart.
what it is, but we bought it all. We bought
Yeah.
juice there, because they do the fresh squeezed juice for 50 cents.
Yeah, the juice is yummy.
Yeah, and all you do is pop that off, pop the top off and start drinking it right there, and it was amazing. We got some, I don't even know what those little pastries, the 4 that we got.
They remind me of like a turnover.
They almost look like a chocolate croissant to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we grabbed a couple of those so we could have some to nosh on later, as the fancy people say. And got to support the Cuban people and the Cuban economy. I think that was, I don't even remember how much. Well, each one of those was $1 a piece. So we got 4 plus 2, that's 6, and then 2 drinks, that's another. So, I mean, it was like 700 Cuban pesos, which is like $7. Yeah, it's like $7 here. And I had a long line of people coming in and out and all that.
It was very popular.
Yeah, super popular. So we got a chance to do that. And then we said, we got to get all this stuff back. So then we started the walk back. And again, didn't use any GPS. Pretty proud of us for that. Did not remember that at one point it was a 100% incline of walking up the hill. Yeah, lots of stops on that one. Lots of, hey, look at this thing while I catch my breath, please, thank you. Type thing. So it was good. Had a fun time. Really enjoyed it. Started getting hot out there. So we said, you know what? Let's come back to the house. Let's chill a little bit. Let's let the sun chill a little bit, and we'll go back out.
In the fridge.
Yeah. We'll go back out later tonight to grab something to eat and explore even more.
Maybe that Italian restaurant, perhaps.
We went to the seawall.
Yes,
also did
the
that.
Malecon.
Yes, got to check that out. That was really cool. And it's just, I mean, each passing day we get more and more comfortable being here. At least I feel like it. And the great thing about doing it the way we're doing it is there's not a schedule. So when we get tired or it gets too hot, we're just like, let's go back to the Airbnb. Let's cool off. Let's enjoy some AC. And, hell, there may even be a nap in my very near future, if we want to get froggy. So it was a great a day so far, and the day's not even over. But I know this is a business podcast, and one thing we haven't talked about while in Cuba is business stuff in terms of my business. So where we're at right now is we've had the successful launch of the membership that we're launched, the Underground Marketers Association or whatever it is.
Marketers Guild.
Yeah, Marketers
maybe.
Guild Association, something, I don't know what we called it, but you get the idea. And we will continue to be launching that each and every month and sharing with our people and getting them to purchase, hopefully, and all that great stuff. I'm currently reading a book called The Road Less Stupid. This was an Alex Hormozy recommendation. I know if you listen to these podcasts, you're like, oh, man, you're kind of on an Alex kick lately. I am, because he's got shit on YouTube. But the thing is, the thing I have discovered, and I have to keep in mind always, is someone else's life and business isn't always for you. Like Alex is a very intense worker. He works, in a small little room. He has an executive assistant, vice president of operations, whatever, that basically is like when he's like, I'm done with this task, here's your next task, here's your next one, here's your next. And that's just too regimented for me. And also, look, and no shade, Alex is, I think over $100 million, maybe even more.
He's done okay.
He's doing just fine, which is great. That's awesome. And that works for him. It's just not something that I'm really interested in. I point that out because this book is like, well, you need to come up with your organizational culture. And it's like, I don't want to have to be big enough to have an organizational culture. I want your responsible adult culture. Like, you know what the fuck to do and you know what the fuck not to do. So let's go ahead and just live like we're adults. And I also have zero desire to have a huge staff. I'll never be a ClickFunnels. I'll never be a Ryan Dice with digital marketer back in the day. I want a small, lean, group of assassins that just know what they do and they just take care of it. And to do that entails kind of breaking everything down to at least a major step-by-step level, and then putting people in those roles if it's not going to be you. And then you can do that several ways. You can do an independent contractor. You can bring someone on as a monthly retainer. You can. There's so many different ways that you can do it. My goal is to do it lean and lethal with as least amount of stress as possible. I remember years ago, Trey Llewellyn saying, look, if you're making 20 grand like in your pocket every month, there's nothing in this world that you virtually can't do. I mean, you can do pretty much anything. So that is, to me, one of the, I don't want to say one of the first, because it's not. One of the major milestones for me is going to be getting to that 20 grand profit where it's coming to us and us after affiliate commissions, after everything like that. If I had that, then I would have less concerns about having people on payroll, having a monthly nut I have to cover, because we built the business up to where it's profitable and it's the machine. And that's what I'm doing with this business. Since the restart is, okay, let's get it up to 10 grand a month. Let's start there. I have the amazing Ava, who's customer support. She is monthly, she is on retainer. And, she just basically handles things for the launch and questions here or there. Some months she's busy, some months she's not crazy busy, but she's at a price where I can afford her to not be super busy and not be counting every penny. Then when it comes to copywriting and sales, that's freelance, pay per job. When it comes to us assembling the notes, everything else is freelance with the exception of her. And even I don't take a salary currently because we're building this company up and trying to, make it profitable. So the whole goal is not to take a salary while we kind of build this business up. So right now, let's say we're averaging, and this isn't recurring, this is just what, the last few months sales have been. Let's say we're doing 10 grand a month, and you may be going, oh, Tim, that's fucking amazing. I can't believe you're making that much money. Got to remember, 25% of that off the top goes to Uncle Sam. Then I got payroll, for the projects that we do. And, anytime I do a project, I got a copywriter. I got someone that's usually doing the project, as far as putting the pieces together. I've got a tech guy, So for a small business, there are moving parts that need to be covered by me or by somebody else. And I know me well enough to know that better be somebody else who's covering it. I just checking to make sure we're still
Oh, yeah.
recording.
How's that battery?
We're good. Yep, nope, we're fantastic.
Excellent.
No issues there. So my goal moving forward is, and I've mentioned this in past podcasts, I want to slow down with the ideas that we're implementing and work on the ideas that we're already working on to improve them. So this month, at the end of the month, at least when we're recording this, like we'll be dropping our 4th installment of the Underground Marketing Society, Association, whatever it may be, for sale. And we'll be doing that to my entire list. Well, we've done it 3 times before, and it should be A to B to C to D. Now, provided that we can get that all done at the end of this, then I know the team knows what's expected of them. We're able to accomplish this, and I may even wait 1 more month. In fact, I probably will work through January and February before I drop the next project on us in March to add to what we're already doing. And I think that's one of the hardest things for me, because I'm a big, here's a fire hose of information and energy and excitement, enjoy or, overwhelm people. And I think this time, I know this time, I'm trying to go just a little bit slower to make sure that before we're running to base 2, base 1 is covered, we've got everything that we need to do. So that's a little different than I've done in the past. It's hard for me because I want nothing more than to be like, guys, I have these 20 ideas and let's implement them all at once and do all. But I know from experience that you quickly overwhelm yourself, your people, and it's hard for people to know what the main thing is in the business if your objectives or what you're doing is always moving.
It's a classic, entrepreneur trait, right? You just get a million ideas and you want to do the next thing, but...
Yeah, you got to be excited about what you're currently doing, and ultimately make sure that you've exhausted everything with that before you move on to a brand new project or a brand new idea. And I've been guilty in the past. This is me trying to learn from the past, where it's like, I do this and do this and do this and do this, and then people are just like, man, I can't do any of this. I'm overloaded, I'm overwhelmed, and I'm out of here. So hopefully this way will prove more fruitful and more, I don't want to say competency, but allow the team to really get competent on what it is that we're doing, know what we're doing, know what the focus is, knowing all of those things, and then allow us to expand as we see necessary.
Right. So it's more about getting the team fine-tuned into the process as opposed to waiting for like a monetary goal.
Right. Yeah. The first thing is, to me, is the process. The second thing is the profit.
Right.
It's like, let's get this process down. We got it down. We know how much it cost me every time we, hit that button, so to speak. So, okay, I got an idea. I want to roll this out, hit the button. This is going to be my cost outlay to do that. And then let's see what the profit, or the total sales are.
That could be the title of your next book, Process, Then Profit.
Yeah.
Because I just, again, there's so many people, entrepreneurs in your space, that can relate to what you're saying right now.
Well, I also think a lot of people, and I understand this too, and I'm not coming from, I know we are in Cuba, and we did, we did get 3 entrees for lunch, but I'm not coming on this place with on high of, I've got all unlimited money. I don't, but I've got a little bit of a runway that allows us to make sure that we're doing this the right way. And as long as I can offset my losses with some income, that'll kind of help do it. But I understand people. I mean, at the very beginning, it was like, I did everything, but it also looked like I did everything type deal.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, we have a couple of pesos left. That's good.
1 or 2 pesos.
Yes, 1 or 2
Cuban pesos. So, the next big thing for us is like I said, fine-tuning the process, honing it, and making sure that everyone's kind of dialed in, that there is a market for it, that it is growing or we're maintaining, and then to build value into that program. With our monthly releases, with whatever else that we're kind of feeding into that program versus, okay, cool, now let's go start something totally different, totally unique. And it's like, no. As I've mentioned in different podcasts, it's like, we got the podcast, that's a major hub. Then we're going to have our membership, that's going to be a major hub. And then things will feed into that, whether it's traffic or people or buyers or whatever it may be. Like, that's what I want to feed, I want to build, and I want to grow over time.
So when you say add value too, have you thought about with the monthly thing, maybe doing because you're so good at this, not just saying, yeah, thank you for having me here, but like doing your, like Tim's take, we could call it, and your take on this method that we just, talked about.
I've thought about that, and I wouldn't mind doing something like that. But again, that's also a thing of I worry about a fire hose of information.
Oh, I see.
And it's like, okay, well, here's the report. Now here's another thing for me, and another thing. People get to the point where they just go, I'm so far behind.
Oh,
I haven't even looked at the last 2 or 3 reports, and now you want to give me even more. But what I have thought about is like I've got a friend that's really good at TikTok. I'd love to do like an interview with him and give it to my people. Justin Sardi wants to help me with YouTube ads.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I want to learn that.
Yeah.
And then I want to be able to come to my people and say, hey, here's what I've learned from Justin. Here's what's kind of helped. So that's how I would do it. But I would go out and seek the subject matter experts.
Right. No, I think that's great. That's actually very smart.
And just be like, okay, cool. You tell me. Like, I don't know anything about TikTok, but you tell me, hey, let's talk about your gear. Let's talk about how you shoot, how you edit, all of those things, so that if someone looks at that, they're like, oh, damn, okay, I can listen to this. And it's somebody that's been vetted and real. The whole thing for me is I'm trying to save you time, money, and energy. And I'm trying to go out there for you and go, okay, this berry's safe to eat. This one will kill you. This animal is friendly. This one is not. This person is the real deal as far as I can tell. This person is complete and total full of shit and, should be avoided at all costs. Thanks, Kevin. So it's just a lot. It's just a lot of stuff out there. And so that's the value that I mean by that is how can I build a little bit more value? And it's not like I need to add things to every time, but it's like, what do people find valuable? And ultimately, how can I help you the most? That's the whole reason my business exists, is because I like helping people. I love learning new things and figuring them out and sharing them with people. I love all of that. But ultimately, I want someone to take that information that I download into their brain and they go, oh, let me do something with it so that I have a result so that I can keep going. And that's my overall goal. Save time, save money, save energy. This person's real. This person, I would maybe exercise caution with. If someone were to come and be like, hey, Tim, I found this company called The Offline Assistant, and I want to hire them to do some outsourcing work. I'd be like, well, you are, of course, free to do that. But before you do that, allow me to share my experience with that company, right? And they can learn from my success, but also learn from my mistakes. And also, I'm in a unique position where I am rebuilding this business from pretty much the ground up, and I am rebuilding myself. So it's like, hey, here's some things that have helped along the way. Therapy, this book, anything that I can do to help people with the goal of helping them, truly helping them, and not just overwhelming them with information. That's great. I know what you just said there in the last 5 minutes. That's such a good overview, know. So, Paris, if you're listening to this, Yeah, please. That's just a great bookmark that last 5 minutes and turn sales that letter right there. Yeah. Because I don't know that people necessarily know that view. The good, the bad. Like you said. Well, and the other thing is, I have taken the last 5 years, not off. That's not. I've been forced to work on the personal side of my life, and I'm not the type that can have a dumpster fire in one area. I can't compartmentalize, or haven't been able to successfully. I've got some more tools. I'm getting better at it, et cetera, et cetera. But so a lot of this is. I was kind of forced to step back from business a little bit. So now I feel like I'm awake, I'm alive, I'm ready to get back in there, but the market has changed in 5 years. Yeah. The players have changed, the people, what they want to know about. So now it is really about going out and asking people that I already know, hey, is this an area of expertise for you? Yes. Cool, let's talk about it. If it isn't, who do you recommend? And also for me to go out and re-experience working with the internet marketing community and, just seeing kind of what's out there. I think the best have gotten better. I think, Russell Brunson and Digital Marketer, all those guys have gotten really good at paid ads and always being in front of your thing. And, we're on Snapchat and Facebook and Instagram and all these things.
There's so many different things.
I'm not doing that, right? I bless them. I think they're amazing people. I'm not saying I don't have anything to learn. I'm not saying that my business wouldn't be better off doing it. I'm just not interested in doing it that way. Again, I don't want to have an HR department. The juice is not worth the squeeze. And it's just not. And I want to be able to enjoy my life. Like before I left, I sent an email out to the entire staff and was like, here's the next project. You should have been on the lookout for it. Here's when it needs to be done. And in true Tim fashion, I'm going out of the country tomorrow and I won't even have cell phone or internet. So just know that going into it, because I want to hire the people that can go with the information that I've given them, especially since it's the fourth time we've done this, and flawlessly execute. Like, I think everyone here should be able to flawlessly execute by this point. And if not, then we have a problem that we just need to address. Is it more training? Is it not the right person? Is it, whatever it may be. But, Sue knows what she's got to do. My copywriter knows what he needs to do, or she needs to do. My tech person knows what they need to do. Ava knows her. Everybody should know their role and responsibility.
Especially by now, yeah.
Especially by now.
It's not new.
So that's again the benefit of doing something over and over and over again, is you quickly get to see where the breakdowns are, and because you're putting all of your energy and focus on that one thing, then you address it and fix it. Versus, oh shit, I've got 5 different plates I'm trying to spin at the same time.
Right.
And also, I want to be clear. I understand that I'm speaking with some bravado and confidence. This is what I'm expecting to happen. The wheels could come off this thing at any time. It's like we were walking today, saw a broken down car, guy next to him gets out, works on that car to help, So this thing could break down, this month. And if it does, then unlike the past where I would be like, oh, that idea is worthless, let's move on to the next thing, I'd be like, nope. Where do we fix this idea?
Let's figure it out.
Where do we get this, and how do we take care of this, and how do we accomplish this, and what is it that we need to do in order to be ultimately successful in what it is that we do, in helping those in need, for sure.
We could just have some nice Cuban guy come over and help us.
Maybe we'll listen outside and see if he'll sing for us.
Yeah,
And yes,
a lot of singing people today.
A lot of singing, and then we'll definitely enjoy that. I don't know, Sue. You tell me your thoughts from your side of the table.
Well, I think, like you said, this is month 4 so I totally agree that every month, let's stick to the plan, and it's not like it's really changing. We're basically kind of doing the same thing every month.
Yeah, that's the key. Is that the steps are the same.
Right.
It's like you're learning how to dance, and there's 5 steps every time.
And I think we're just gonna, not that we're not doing a good job, but that we're just gonna continue to improve. I also, speaking from someone who provides a portion of what we're doing here, I like, as someone who does that, I like the fact that, okay, this is what we're doing. It's not like we're jumping around,
We're not trying to bake a cake a totally different way each month.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And and again, I'm not saying you can't change things. I'm not saying there won't be changes.
Right.
But for right now, it's like, hey, let's follow the recipe and bake the cake. Okay. Then once we can consistently bake that cake, then we can fuck around with the recipe. You want to try some different things here and there? We can look at that, or we can just say, hey, this cake is perfect, or as good as it's going to come. Yeah, it's going to be good as it's going to come out. So let's just do that instead, and just kind of keep doing the thing. What I've discovered more and more, and it's something that mentally I just kind of have to get over, is that successful businesses are boring. As far as they follow a repetitive task,
Right,
like,
yes.
Again, going on the whole Alex Hormozy tip, I listened to a sales training that he did, and they have every word scripted. Even the ones that sound conversational, it's all 100% scripted. Well, you have to go through that whole process in order to do that. And it also helps them, if there's an issue, they can go back and listen to the tape and be like, why didn't you do this? Or why didn't you do that? But, that's a big boy business with big boy money and big boy clients and all those things.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that maybe one day I wouldn't be interested in doing something like that, but it just doesn't appeal to me. And there's no amount of plus that could make up, I don't want to go into an office. I don't want to, I don't want to have an HR department.
No.
I don't want to do any of that shit. Yeah. I want to be able to say, hey, Sue, I bought a ticket to Cuba in 2 weeks. You want to fucking come with?
Yeah.
And she go, yeah, my life's not so busy and scheduled that I can't even take a breather, even if I need one or want one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I totally, when I hear like, even like Russell, yes, he's a brilliant guy, but he's a busy dude,
He's just like Alex, where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm done with this challenge, and they go, great, now the Dan Kennedy challenge is
Right.
up. All right, now we got to go into ClickFunnels
It's
2.0.
exhausting, how much content he puts out, and more credit to him. He obviously loves it, and he's amazing and all that, but when I see all the different content he puts out, even wherever, because of course I see his stuff.
Well, this is like 2 or 3 years ago. I remember him
tiring.
saying they had built a production studio up in Canada, like to do all their video production stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And yet at one point, I don't know what it is now, but this was like 2 years ago. He said, I have like 17 people just working on the marketing of the
amazing.
business. So you think about
Wow.
that. So it's also important, I think, when you look at a business and you go, oh man, that looks so interesting, to really try to get a look behind the curtain and see how that thing's run. Because it's like, oh man, I would love $100 million. Well, cool. You have to have a marketing department of 17 people and, outsourcers by the thousand, for customer support. And it's just like, oh, no, I'm sorry. I that's not.
Yeah, that's a hard pass. Yeah, I agree.
I'm not going to do that for sure. So.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm eye to eye with you on.
And then we have another top secret project, which we haven't talked about. The one that we're going to hit and attack after this. It's going to be a list building thing and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm so anxious and excited about it. But the other thing is, and it'd be interesting to see what happens. Is I also think. I understand what everybody says. When you get that good idea, you want to start working on it immediately.
We already bought the domains.
Yes, but, and I do believe that, but if you have multiple ideas, I also think it's a good idea to pick the one you're most excited about, work on that, and then go back and go, all right, am I still happy with these other ones? Do they still excite me? Or did the coolness of everything kind of dry off? And as a result of that, we'll be okay. So it'll be very interesting to see if at the end of next month, when we start working on that, I would imagine.
You're talking about the new thing.
The top secret thing, yeah. If my interest is still like, fuck yeah, let's do it, or I'll be like, I'm already on to my next thing, you know? So I remember listening or reading the old Gary Halbert letters and talking about how even Jay Abraham, he'd write all this copy for Jay, they'd get it there, mail it, he'd call and go, all right, Jay, how'd it go? And he goes, oh, don't worry about that. Listen, let's talk about this new project that I've got going. So it happens to us all because we see gaps in the marketplace or the opportunities, or we see a trend or we do something and we're like, oh shit, all right, we need to do this again and again and again. But if you look, Russell may have started and had many opportunities. Most of our friends have done the same. But once they find that one thing, the smart fucking people hone in on that one. Russell's funnels and funnel software and ClickFunnels.
Right.
So, he's added this and that and that. Yes, he has, right? But that was after the first was established. Ben Settle, copywriting, Jason Fladlin, webinars, Don Wilson, Gear Bubble, and now Playground or something like that, I think.
Oh, right.
And then you have people like me who are out here floundering little fish trying to find our next meal, and then the hope is eventually that we find something that we really connect with and the market really connects with. And then we go, big one, big one on the line. Let's reel this thing all the way in and make sure we're doing everything
big
possible.
Swordfish, with a
ginormous swordfish or whatever it was, the fish they fed Sue today at lunch.
That was interesting.
It was a beautiful pool, beautiful place. I mean, I definitely can understand the allure of staying at one of those hotels. But I still like the space that we're provided
that's true.
by the Airbnb for sure.
And
And
we get this wonderful fan here.
they told us, come back anytime. We'll be waiting for you. I mean, I really do feel like we could have gotten in the pool and they would have said anything.
They were very welcoming.
Yes,
I will have to say.
Yeah, remind me a lot of being in Mexico and the tourist part of Mexico where they had multiple people just looking at you, waiting for you to make any indication that you needed something to come over
pretty
and
much,
be like, okay, do you need this? Can we take this away? What can we do? What can we, and what was also funny is after we got out and walked over the seawall, on the way there, we look and there's a hotel and you could tell this used to be the hotel.
Yeah, like Riviera or something like that.
Yeah, and it used to be the hotel, but it's not anymore. In fact, I think it might even be closed.
It looked closed. Yeah.
It might even be
closed. It was
closed.
like right there near the ocean and I'm just thinking, now this new Kahina or Amelia Place, whatever, opened up.
Yeah.
And the other one.
And they just cut the staff or whatever happened. And it's pretty interesting. So that's a little business update for you guys, where we are. It's got to start trending in a positive direction, pretty damn quick for sure. Just to continue to build us even more runway, because that's, to me, that's the success of a business, is how long can it stay open and operate, even in times of, down economies like we're about to go into, and all of these issues. It's like, can you sustain, withstand, handle all of this going on with your business, or do you feel every single bump in the road?
Now, have you thought of using? Are you using affiliates for the guilds then?
I haven't worked on that part because I wanted to make sure we get it dialed in. Because that's the other thing, is when you invite affiliates, you better have your affiliate program all dialed in, all of these other things. So it's like right now, I'm just doing it internally, making sure that my people see it. And then once we run them through it a few times, then we'll open up to affiliates, because we'll be able to tell them, hey, this is what I found traffic-wise. This is what, the things of that nature. So we'll see what the long-term future of it is. But my goal is, even if it's just on the back end of everything I do, something that's nice, it's recurring, we can provide a great service, we feel good about the service that we're providing to them, who feel like they're getting a tremendous value for what they pay. And if we can keep doing that and just get that word out to people and explain to them in ways that make sense to them what the ultimate final goal is and their end use is, then, hopefully, knock on marble, we'll be successful with it and profitable enough to sustain any other adventures that we might want to go on.
Adventure. That's the word of the week, folks. Adventure.
Yeah. And we're going to get back to doing more adventures here in Cuba and telling you all about them. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to this. It really does help me if you leave a comment, a review, you subscribe. Anything that you can do to let us know that people actually listen to this and we're not just talking to our exes and our family members or any concerned medical people.
Please leave a comment. Let us know.
Great. I'm not going to beg you, but I am going to ask. If you enjoy this, it'd be real nice if you could do us a solid.
Even just the thumbs up.
Yeah, even a thumbs up. Yeah.
Because we know the thumbs up.
We know what the
means
thumbs up
good.
means. But between us, we know the thumbs up is a good thing. So thanks for listening as always. We'll try to do better next time. But until then, we'll see you soon.